Hi everybody! So it's been a long time since you've seen me this way. Since our last official Great Wander video, we've slept in 31 different places, 24 since we left the house, and thought this would be a good way just to show you where we've been, what was good, what was bad about the different parks, and what you might want to do while you're there, or more specifically, what we did. All right, here's an overview of where we've been, starting with the Dallas area, moving to Oklahoma, Arkansas, Colorado, and all the way to Oregon. I'm going to very quickly cover where we've stayed, why you might want to stay there or want to stay away, and what to see in the area. And I'm going to rip through these because otherwise you're going to be here for an hour. So, first up is Willow Grove in Louisville. It's a pretty park, lake, trees, and plenty of critters to see. It's also very quiet during the week. We had water and electric hookup, table, fire pit, grill. Sewer access was down the road, and most campers left things as they found them, but some just couldn't resist leaving their trash all over the place. Why do you people do that? So, what's to see? Dallas. The real reason to be here is a quiet lakeside, and that was definitely worth it. So, next up is Tiny Town, Oklahoma, and Broken Bow. This was our first time towing. Hooked up the car near Sherman, Texas, and took it to Broken Bow without any problems. Yay! We had full hookups with table and fire pit, and this is also where we learned to clean the table when we arrived because these idiots were cleaning their sewer hose on their table as they left. I'd say it was good for a night. The owners, host are letting the grass die and weeds take over, and there's zero shade. What's to see? Good hiking trails in the area at Beavers Bend or Hochatown State Parks. Definitely go for those, and if you go in the summer, it's just absolutely gorgeous. We also have a longer review link down below. Next is Creekside RV Park in Broken Bow also. We moved there because we wanted to stay in the area a bit longer, but our reservation was up for Tiny Town. We had full hookups, fire pit, and a table. Sounds about normal so far. We also had gravel everywhere, which Chip was beginning to really tire of, but the sites were huge and there were very tall trees. It was also noisier since it was closer to the highway than Tiny Town. But did I mention trees? The hosts were very responsive, but also nearly invisible. Really almost never saw them. Never really needed to either, so that's not a downside. So, what's to see? Really the same as Tiny Town. There's also a little bit of walking along the creek next to the RV park, though the formal path had been washed out previously. Maybe it's there again. And there's also a link to a longer review down below. Next up is the Sallisaw Fort Smith KOA in Sallisaw, Oklahoma. This is an intermediate way station on the way to Colorado and had decent sites with full hookups, fire pit, a table, and enough room between sites to be comfortable outside, and had friendly people in the office. The grounds were well kept with good walking trails and a pond, and more gravel. By this time, Chip was getting really tired of gravel. Imagine having to walk barefoot on gravel slightly smaller than your foot. Not comfortable at all. What did we see? 14 flags, Sequoia's Cabin, and Fort Smith. We definitely recommend all of them. And there's a link to a longer review down below. Next up is Devil's Den State Park in Arkansas, one of the best parks we've been to so far. Triple-decker, if you count the river, site with full hookups and a gorgeous view of the gorgeous river. Did I mention the river was gorgeous? This is also where we had our first disaster. We had some issues with the water supply, and when we went to ask for help, we left the black flush hose connected. While we were at the office, a ranger went to our site to check on the water and turn the spigot on. When we got back, we discovered a waterfall coming out of the coach. This was also the first time we really wished we had a Wi-Fi or cell booster. Being in the middle of a forest and at the edge of the camp meant we couldn't rely on either one. I had to drive out to the interstate to make reservations for our next camp. So what did we see? Wonderful hiking trails, critters, green growing things, caves. Stay out of the caves. I'm talking to you. And if you like nature at all, just go. Next is Catherine's Landing in Hot Springs, Arkansas, where we had our second near disaster. Our spot was in the unfinished newer section without any warning from the hosts. It did have full hookups, table, and barbecue, but no fire pit, though there were several stacks of them in the area. And no shade. By now the new side should be finished and fully ready for guests. We weren't far from the river, which was great. There was a cool breeze off it in the evening and often fog in the morning. About half the people in the office acted as though customers were a bother. The other half were friendly, though it helps if you have a cute dog with you. The near disaster? For a 24-hour period at the beginning of our stay, we thought we were going to be in for 10 grand in engine repairs due to a coolant leak in the engine. Fortunately, it turned out to be a bad coolant cap and a $6 repair. That was not a good 24 hours. What did we see? The town of Hot Springs, spas, local parks, kayaking on the river, fireworks on the 4th. Definitely try all of these while you're there. Then we were on to Barefoot Bay in Pittsburgh, Texas. This was another way station on the way back to Plano. We had full hookups and the people in the office were friendly. There was no Wi-Fi except near the office and unreliable cell access. We really needed a booster. The lake is beautiful and definitely worth spending time around, but the camp is falling apart. The road in is rutted, and overall the camp has a general air of we don't feel like running a camp anymore. Definitely don't recommend it for more than a night or two. There's a nice trail near the office, though, and they've taken time to put out signs for flora along the way. What else did we see? Well, mostly shopping in town, though Chip did make a friend. And on to the Dallas area where we stayed at the Vineyards in Grapevine, Texas. Also a night in front of the house. We spent nearly a week back in town while we got the house finally ready to sell. The Vineyards have friendly hosts, though they don't allow dogs in the office or on the store porch. Even on the porch? Yep, even on the porch. And big sites with full hookups, concrete pads, fire pit, and grill, and we had a site right on the lake with zero shade. Fortunately, we weren't spending much time in Faye during the day, and we had some great Texas skies at night. On the other hand, we also had goose shit everywhere around the lake. We thought people weren't picking up after their dogs until we realized what was really going on. The camp was really quiet in the early morning, and there were plenty of places to walk with the dog, and no gravel. Chip was really happy with this. What to see? Dallas? Really, we were just using it as a place to sleep while we got the house ready to sell. I'm going to stop here for now. The next video will have the next set of camps we stayed after our full launch from Plano. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe and share our videos with your friends.